Considering in the past year I've made 2 videos about him, it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm a pretty big fan of Jontron. Run by Jon Jafari, this is easily one of the best produced channels on all of YouTube, and I've went into detail before about why I enjoy the videos so much. It's crazy to think that I've been watching his videos for over a half a decade at this point, starting when he only had a handful of subscribers and videos. The reason I bring this up is because his current hiatus from content is no surprise to longtime subscribers. Looking at his channel, you'll notice that there hasn't been any new videos in months, which makes me want to discuss the sporadic upload schedule of Jontron. Back in the real early days, I remember that he put out videos pretty frequently, but it was still sporadic. This was supposed to change though at the end of 2010 with the launch of normalboots.com.
I started this show with the thought in mind that there aren't enough video gamer shows that update frequently enough, so I decided to try to make one to entertain the masses. So far, reception seems pretty good. You guys tell me what you think. So far though, I've only been releasing random videos, but oh, is that going to change? I've teamed up with the fabulous, the wonderful Peanut Butter Gamer, and we decided to start a site together. It's called normalboots.com. So, this is how it's gonna go. Every Monday, I'm gonna release a real game review, like a current game, and I'm gonna give it a score and everything. And every Friday, I'm gonna release what is being called a Jontron original. It's basically what you've been getting in the past, the funny stuff, the top 10s, retro reviews, and some stuff you don't even know yet.
If I remember, that upload schedule of 2 videos a week didn't last for very long. I don't blame him for this though, considering the amount of time and effort it takes to write a script, do the voiceovers, shoot the footage in front of the camera, and edit it all together. Because of this, he went back to his old system of releasing a video when it's done. Even after normalboots.com fizzled out for the most part, that didn't stop Jon from continuing to grow and grow even more. If we fast forward in time a little bit, we'll get to his next business venture, Game Grumps, a Let's Play channel co-hosted by him and Egoraptor, which he assured would not have any effect on his regular upload schedule, which turned out not to be true. During his year hosting Game Grumps, his original channel was for the most part simply abandoned, with maybe an episode or 2 released throughout that time period. Things would change yet again in 2013 when he abruptly left Game Grumps, moved to New York City, and said he wanted to start production on Jontron again. This time the production value went up even more and he started getting back in the groove of making videos. That is, until Starcade. Since Jontron's network had been bought out by Disney, who owned Star Wars in 2015, he was given the opportunity to make Starcade, a miniseries where he reviews Star Wars games. Originally, this was just supposed to be a fun little side project that wouldn't take up much time, but that turned out not to be the case.
So this last February, that's February of 2015, I was given the opportunity to make Starcade. I was asked to write it, direct it, and just create it all around. And I was asked to make it my vision, and I said I can't say no. I went for it. Originally, the idea was to make it quickly because I wanted to get back to Jontron as I understood it to be the bread and butter of the channel, but turns out it was a little harder to make than we thought. So.
When all was said and done, it turned out that he spent almost a year working on the side project, with very little in the terms of original Jontron episodes. In 2016, with Starcade out of the way, he was able to focus all his energy onto new Jontron episodes, and we got a steady amount, with each one getting millions upon millions of views. Then we get to 2017. At the beginning of the year, Jon, who seemed to be fed up with the current political climate on the internet, went on a live stream hosted by Sargon, another YouTuber, and he had some opinions that a lot of people did not like. Since that stream, he has become very open on Twitter about his political views, which has made more and more and more people upset as time goes on. In a very similar way that they went after PewDiePie, the mainstream media as well as many across all the social media platforms decided Jontron was going to be their next target, many going as far to claim that he was a Nazi. Because of all this, Jon made a now unlisted video where he said he was going to take a break for a bit.
So yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a break ever since the the whole end of the world thing has been happening, but yeah, I'll be back in a couple months if we're still here, to bring some hot comedy action back to the table. And you'll either watch that and laugh or mass unsubscribe. It's going to be one of the two.
So you may be still asking yourself, when is Jontron coming back? Well, I don't have a specific answer for that question, but all I know is that when he does decide to make a new video, I'll be there to watch it. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for watching this video today. And instead of answering a question of the day, I decided to do something a little different, which is a lot of people have been asking me to talk about what I use for film equipment in these videos. So today I'm going to kind of list a general overview of the products that are used in producing Gamer from Mars episodes. The camera I'm using today is the Canon 80D, and honestly I think it's a really great camera. I dropped it and it didn't affect the internal mechanisms inside it one bit. It works perfectly. It's a pretty solid camera. I know a lot of people complain because it doesn't have 4K resolution, but honestly I don't need it for the type of videos I make currently. So as long as you're not looking for a 4K camera, I definitely consider checking this one out. It's not the greatest performer, it may not be the best deal, but it is a very, very solid camera. As for the lens on this camera, we have the Sigma 17 to 50mm lens. This has autofocus and image stabilization built into it, which are very handy to have just in case. And it is a pretty solid lens. The only downside I would say that I have with it is that it may be a tiny bit noisy if you have a microphone above it. But yeah, other than that, it's a very solid lens, and it is a pretty good price considering a lot of lenses for these cameras go well above $1,000. The microphone I use on this camera is the VidMic Pro, which I really recommend. The thing I just want to warn you about is do not get this one. It's their cheaper version. It's like $100 cheaper, but it does not work well with DSLR cameras. It doesn't work well in any of the situations I've tried to use it in, so I basically just wasted my money on this. Just don't try to be cheap. Spend the money on the nicer microphone because it does do a lot better job. Since I have this sitting on a desk, I have a GorillaPod propping up the camera right now. I have the biggest one. I'll have a link to it in the description. I'll have a link to everything in the description actually. And this works really well. It's very convenient to have. You could pick it up and bring it wherever you want with you. I believe Casey Neistat uses the same one for his vlogs. So yeah, it's definitely a solid product. I'd recommend it. For my bigger tripod, I have an E-Image 2-stage aluminum tripod. I don't have the specific model number written down here, but I'll have a link to it. And it is very solid. It is heavy and it will not get pushed over because there is a lot of weight to it. The only downside is it's very heavy, so you have to drag it around with you places, and it does add some weight to your backpack or wherever you're storing it. For voiceovers, I use a Blue Yeti USB microphone. I know a lot of people complain that they may be overpriced, but honestly, I think it's a pretty good value. It's not the greatest price. You could probably get things with similar sound quality for a little bit cheaper, but this one gives you a very nice package for a very fair price in my opinion, and you get good sound out of it. It comes with a very nice, very heavy stand to put it on. It looks nice on my desk. I don't know, I like the Blue Yeti. And finally, I use a collapsible multi-disc light reflector. This thing allows you to reflect light and diffuse light. I'll give a link to it to describe it a little better in the description. It is very good just to have. It's like $17, and it helps you bounce light off things. So if I have a light coming from this side, I could put it there and it will bounce some light back onto the other side of my face. It's just a good thing to have. It's light, it's cheap, and it's good to have in your filmmaking arsenal. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to kind of share some of the things that I use in these videos behind the scenes, and there they are. I'm happy with every single one of those products listed. I think I have a pretty good setup right now. And if you have any other questions, you could leave them in the comments or tweet me at GamerFromMars, and I may be able to answer some of your questions about the filmmaking side of things today if you'd want. So until next time guys, thank you for watching.